No, that's no way to start this. Well, we're already going, so I guess we'll just roll with it. Just keep filming! Okay, so what is this thing they're hanging on right now? I've seen this intro a bunch of times, but I don't actually recognize what that device was. Some kind of twisty xylophone? Well, that's beside the point. That was 10 whole seconds ago. So yeah, you got a couple of VHS tapes in a wooden cabinet or a wooden VCR perhaps. This is all just flying past me so quickly I don't know what to comment on. Okay, gonna crawl into Wrinkly's cave. I probably could have worded that better. Okay, it's not when you might get the impression that everything's moving so fast because of the gameplay, and that I was playing it too fast, but that's not how it is. It's just an old game, and they just want to get you introduced to everything real quick. Then you can get to the good stuff. Okay, so that was Wrinkly taught us how to save. Now we're gonna go to Funky McGee, and he's gonna let us run his boat, and apparently he works on boats in this one. Okay, really has a different job every game. Wasn't he an army guy in Donkey Kong 64? That was different. Anywho, so we've got our boat that we can use to traverse the map, and away we go. Lake Woebegone, Lakeside Limbo. I'm just saying stuff out loud. I feel like I had something important to say about this game. Now I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna try to throw Kiddy Kong up there. Okay, never mind. He was on the platform, but it wouldn't let us both go up. Hopefully there were no secrets back there. So Donkey Kong isn't even in this game, even though he's got his name on the cartridge. I guess they wanted to give players more variety. I can respect that. Alright, we're gonna use... hold on. If we can time this right, we can break that crack in the ground and go to the minus world. Any second now. Come on, Kitty, you can do it. And we might just give up if we don't get this soon enough. Come on. Come on, Shadow. Okay, yeah, forget it. Okay, but something we can do is we can get the DK coin. That guy's in every level, and there's always a different way that you have to get the DK coin from him. Since this is the first level, after all, it's pretty simple for that one. Alright, you got those bear tokens. I wonder if the bears in this game were supposed to be like the inspiration for Banjo-Kazooie later. Because that was probably in development at the same time as this. Well, maybe. Because Banjo-Kazooie came out in 98, and this was 96. I guess I'd have to look into it, because, come to think of it, the original Banjo-Kazooie was in development for the SNES, as Project Dream, but of course it was very different back then, and Banjo wasn't even a bear in those stages of the project, so who knows? What else to say? I like the color schemes of these two characters. The developers really did a good job of using complementary colors, so that you've got pink, yellow, and light blue, and between the two of them, and it goes together quite well, I would say. Yes, indeed. Here's the elephant. I don't know his name. He doesn't have a recognizable name like Rammy or Espresso or Engard or Winky or the spider one. See, I remember most of the old ones from the original, but not so much in this one. Oh, and there was Rattly, I think his name was, the snake, but he wasn't in the first one. He was in Donkey Kong Country 2. I think. Well, regardless. So, you guys think Dixie Kong's gonna be in the new Smash Bros? Probably just as a clone character, but regardless, that would be pretty neat if that happened. I think Dixie Kong would make a fine addition. Sakurai's just he's just kind of caved to the fans in terms of characters for this one, it would seem. It used to be he'd come up with original and exciting ideas to entertain us, but nowadays I guess he got tired of whiny chodes on the internet having an aneurysm every time the specific character didn't get into the new game. So he's just going by whatever's on the polls, so it's just all fan favorites and such, which makes everything kind of predictable, which is sad. There probably won't be any big surprises like Mr. Game & Watch was in Melee, or the Duck Hunt Dog was in Smash 4. People would just get upset. The internet, people on the internet ruin lots of things. It's like that Vector Man reboot that Sega had planned for the PS2. It was coming along nicely, but people didn't the fans weren't satisfied with how it looked, and I guess they complained so hard that Sega just eventually canceled the game. I mean, I don't know the exact details, but I know something along the lines of that happened. They just complained a video game right out of existence. Just to think, a few people, a group of maybe 20 or 30 people on GameFAQs or something, managed to have enough sway to prevent a commercial product from being released. Just a very odd thought. I wonder if a beta of that old Vector Man cancelled game exists anywhere. Might be mildly interesting. Though it wasn't finished, so it probably wouldn't play well. Well, knowing how Sega tends to rush things, it probably wasn't that too different from what the final product would have been. Oh, epic this! Yes, indeed, Sega likes to rush things. And that's not a new, modern Sega problem. That's been around pretty much since the beginning. They've always been very poorly organized as a company, but even then they were able to put out decent stuff. I am having some serious trouble trying to get the DK coin from this guy. Come on now. Come on then. Come on. Almost. There we go. Slowly. So we established that Dixie Kong would make a good entry to Smash Bros, but how about Kiddy Kong? I know the internet wouldn't like it, but that doesn't really mean anything to me. I think he'd be a decent character, but I've been told my opinions aren't valid because they're slightly different than everybody else's. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time by showing you the save screen again. I can just do that in between episodes. Next up, we've got Title. The application server. People aren't going to know what that means. So I've pretty much exhausted all my Donkey Kong Country 3 trivia at this point. So in this one, the boss, it's still K. Rool, but he's a scientist in this one for some reason. Just like Funky Kong, they seem to change up his role in each game to just try to keep things interesting. And Guard is in this level, but he's pretty well hidden because I never actually did find him. Anyway, yeah, K. Rool seems to have different jobs, just like Funky, because in the first one he was just normal. And then in the second one, he was a pirate. And then in this one, he's a mad scientist. And in Donkey Kong 64, for a while he had a boxing theme, but that was only for part of the game. The rest of it he was just normal. As long as we're on the topic of K. Rool, I thought the Mario baseball game that he was in really kinda misrepresented him as a character. His model just doesn't look quite right. It looks a little too sanitized, you know? Too kid-friendly. He doesn't have his messed up eye, or if he does, it's not quite as pronounced, and he doesn't have his gold-plated stomach. It's just a normal flesh stomach, and they just took away everything that makes him interesting, you know? That's unfortunate, but Smash Bros. Is gonna fix that. His new designs are much more faithful, and we're all appreciative of that. Alrighty, so let me just save before we start the next episode.